So I have this question that I love to ask people, and about 93% of people, I would say, can't even answer it. They end up stuttering or saying like, I don't know, and looking really embarrassed, or they'll like try to give me some vague idea of whatever the answer is. And the question that I just ask is, what do you want? Now, I understand that that can be a little vague. So sometimes I'll put timelines on it. It's like, hey, what do you want to get out of this year? What do you want to get out of this month? What do you want to get out of the next 3 years? We can put different time frames on it, but even then, when it comes down to it, people just don't have clarity on what that answer is. And that's a huge problem. Now, a lot of times people will end up telling me like, well, Stephen, I know the general direction of where I'm going. And maybe they do. But just like with a GPS, if we know the general direction where we're trying to go and we're like, hey, I'm trying to go north, well, that doesn't actually tell us how to get where we want to be. So we need an actual destination. You have to have 2 points. Hey, this is where I'm starting. This is the address where I'm going. There has to be clarity on that. Otherwise, the GPS doesn't work. Well, our lives are exactly the same. If we just have a general direction, we have no idea of when we've ever arrived where we want to be. One of the things that I try to get people to see is that clarity is a decision. It is not a feeling. See, people are just waiting to feel clear instead of just actually choosing clarity. A lot of times they're going to say, I'm just trying to figure things out. And that sounds like a smart thing to do, but in reality, you need to just decide. The word decide literally means to cut off. So a lot of times we think it's good to have multiple different options and different things kind of available to us, but in reality, that just keeps us stuck. Every major breakthrough in life doesn't start with a plan. It starts with a decision. And if clarity came from thinking, then overthinkers would run the world. The second big problem with not knowing what you want is that the default tends to be drifting. And drifting can be really expensive. This is really unpopular to say, but it's just the truth. If you do not choose a destination for your life, if you do not choose what you want, then society is going to choose it for you. You'll end up surrendering your dreams just for another paycheck. Your relationships will slowly start to fade, and then even your health will slowly slip away from you. And the worst part about drifting is the lie that it is safe, because it feels smoother, like, you're just kind of letting the game come to you kind of a thing. But the reality is it's just a slow decay. This is why so many people have a midlife crisis, because all of a sudden they wake up at 40 and they realize, oh my gosh, I've just been living out somebody else's expectations for me. In the book, The 5 Regrets of the Dying, one of the top regrets that these people had on their deathbed was that they wished they would have lived a life that was truer to the things that they wanted for themselves. So this is something that is crucially important, because you can literally go through your entire life without ever truly chasing what you want. See, drift doesn't feel dangerous on the day-to-day. It just feels like life. But then when you start to look back 3, 5, 10 years, then all of a sudden you start to realize how dangerous it is in hindsight. But here's the good news. You don't need to have the entire plan mapped out in order to start getting what you want. You just have to define the destination. You don't need a 10-year plan. You're going to be a totally different person in 10 years. So what you want now probably won't be what you want in 10 years. You just need to decide, what do you want right now? Because all of this stuff starts to fall together. Strategy is downstream from clarity. Once you know and you have pinpointed exactly what it is that you're going to go after, the plan will start to form itself. This is why so many smart and accomplished people end up getting stuck in their lives, because they're making all of these plans, but they actually don't know where it's leading to. And nobody can optimize a life if you haven't defined what success looks like for it. So here's my challenge to you. Clarity changes everything. So I just want you to think about the next month, the next year, and just ask yourself the question. Be super honest about it, no matter what your situation is in life. What do you want? And then when you know what that is, go after it like your life depends on it, because it does.